everyone, welcome back to Show Me How to Win. We're visiting PAX Unplugged and we're checking out the Taverns of Tiefenthal.
Taverns of Tiefenthal, I mix it up every time too. It's sort of the next game from Wolfgang Warsch after the Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Yes.
So we went with the same alliterative naming. So we figured if you knew the Quacks of Quedlinburg, the Taverns of Tiefenthal seems like a perfectly logical next step.
Bruce is going to show me how to play and how to win. Awesome. I played this game several times already, but for the folks who haven't played before, Bruce, give me a quick rundown.
Okay, so basically this is a mix of a deck building game and a dice drafting and dice placement game. As far as the deck building, I always like to describe it like this. It has both kinds of deck building, both Ascension, so you have that kind of row of cards where you add new cards in. It also has Dominion, where it has those sets of cards that you're going to buy from. That's important because so you are building a little bar, and in your little bar you can get money. And money you use to upgrade your bar and to hire new people and get new equipment. You then use that to make beer. You use the beer to get new people to come to your bar. Those people will spend money. You use that money to upgrade your bar and to hire people so you can make beer, so you can get more people to come to your, and I feel like at this point you understand what's going on.
Make beer, make money, make beer.
Make money, make beer, to make money, to make beer, to make money.
Yeah, and make your bar better really is our final sort of goal, right?
Yes, your goal is to draw as many people as possible and score as many points. You can do that with cards that are called nobles. Nobles represent in here nobility. I would say in our time they represent your Rihannas, your Drakes, your Kim Kardashians, your any kind of celebrity, your Ariana Grandes that are going to come in. They all kind of stay in the same place. They don't want to pay a lot of money, but they're incredibly prestigious and you get a lot of points with them. And points are how you win the game.
And they like to sit together.
They always sit together because they do not want to sit around regular people, and they also do not pay you a lot of money because why should they?
Yeah, just having them there is like where it should be like honor enough, right?
Absolutely, and if you have them there, that is how you're going to win the game.
Yeah, so basically, it's kind of like a deck builder. You play the cards, and then until you sort of bust, if you will, and then you get to basically serve your customers depending on what dice you draft, and then when you make money, you buy cards, but cards don't go into your discard pile, they actually go into your top of the deck, so you can basically get the cards that you just bought next turn. So there's a twist to that. So that's pretty much how you play, and then the money or the points come from buying, hiring new people, upgrading your bar, and various other stuff. So, Bruce, first turn, what should we think about?
Okay, so first turn for me, you just kind of want to see what the dice are going to do for you. The main thing I always think about is how can I start upgrading the bar? And this is important for a couple of things. One, emotionally, it feels very good to start upgrading the bar. And for me, as much as winning, I want to feel good when I get done the game. Beyond that, every time you upgrade the bar, you're going to get one of those nobles that's worth 10 points. So if you can buy those early for $6 and $7 in some of the easier places, that's a great thing to do.
Yeah, and get them in your deck early.
Exactly, exactly. You can start getting those nobles in and mostly just start securing those points as early as possible. You only have 8 turns to get as much as you can. So getting those nobles early in the game to get the points is super important. Another thing I care a lot about when we're kind of doing these upgrades is getting a server as quick as you can. Because servers give you more dice. Dice give you more actions. So just like any worker placement game, most people, as their pat worker placement thing, they say, oh, just get more workers as fast as you can. And that is exactly what you should be doing here as well. In those early turns, if that looks like how the dice are going to run.
Yeah. All right, so good tips. You're thinking about upgrade already first. That usually doesn't happen because it's hard to make money if it doesn't go your way, but think about that right away. And also because it gives you the nobles, and as you're cycling through the decks, you get them more. And then we mentioned earlier, they always sit in the same table, so it doesn't count towards your customer count. So if you can get a lot of nobles, you can serve more people, even though they don't pay you a lot. So that's one. And then getting a server, that's your tip on who to hire, because they are cheap, but they give you another die if you can draw them. And again, that's the thing you want to get into your deck early on, so you keep drawing that card. All right, next, what about, what's this board called? Like, kind of like every round you get like a bonus thing, right? So, and on round, I think several turns, you get a choice to choose an upgrade. So what do you recommend?
Okay, so the first turn you just get one of the people. They can either help you over here in the monastery, which you were talking about, or they can let you kind of re-deal the cards. I would say you got to look at how the luck's running for you. If the luck's running badly, then you may just want to re-deal the cards. If not, take the monastery. It's going to start to give you, as I like to call it, cash and prizes. In round number 2, you're given the possibility of either getting a new barback who can bring you a beer, or getting a new customer that is $3 on 3s. I take the customer. Remember, from turn 1, I'm trying to upgrade parts of the bar. At the point I know I can get a $3 person on the top of my deck immediately, I do it, because I'm trying to build that cash engine quickly, so then I can start working on the beer engine to get the people in. So for me in turn 2, that's what I'm going to do. When turn 3 comes, you can either add a dishwasher that's going to give you a +1, or you can get an extra die for 1 turn. I take the extra die, because once again, I'm still trying to build that engine of getting as many things done to get a stack of money so that I can buy my way into getting these upgrades and can start my engine working.
Yeah, I can see your strategy is basically prioritize making money as early as possible, so you upgrade as early as possible, right? What about the monastery? What's your opinion on that, and the tables?
Okay, so there are 2 things. The monastery, I'm not the biggest fan of, because you have to get 5s to make it work. I think that's difficult to do. You can do that in combination with the dishwasher. If you get enough dishwashers, you can make any die a 5. Also, a lot of the table in the dice draft may not take 5s. So if you find that's a place where you can play the players rather than the game, play the players, do the monastery. But I would say that is very dependent on your table. You shouldn't necessarily go in with that. If you find people are going to let you do it, then by all means. But that's not like a good starting strategy.
Yeah, if somebody else is doing that, then you'll be fighting for that 5.
And you don't want to. You do not want to mess with... In this game, to mitigate the luck, you do not want to have to worry about any single number in this game if you don't have to. As far as the tables, a lot of people in Board Game Geek debate about this, whether tables are good or bad. I think they're a very expensive upgrade early in the game, and I don't know that they pan out as well as you'd want them to. You definitely want to get to them, but I don't know that they're a first thing you do priority. There's no doubt, as you can bring out more people that are going to be in your bar, it helps. And you certainly should try to get to it. You shouldn't forget about the tables. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's not something every game at turn 1 I'm worried about. Sometimes it's something where later in the game I'll get to it if I can.
Okay, this game also has a lot of additional modules that you can add to it. So we discussed the strategies for the base game, and Bruce shared his strategy that's basically how to get cash very quickly. So if that's something you want to try, follow his advice. Now, we're not going to get into the strategy for all the different modules, but Bruce, just give us a quick rundown on what they add.
Okay, so one of them adds Bards, and the Bards are going to play music, and they are a $1 addition to your bar that can help you on a track at the bottom of the board. If you play the basic game, you just have like a bartender and it looks like just sort of a cosmetic piece. When you flip it over, there's sort of a game you can run where you're running through almost like a rondelle down there. Anything you can do to kind of keep that rondelle moving so you can get your bonuses, you should do. The next one is Schnapps. You can get Schnapps through the game. One of the entertainers that will take Schnapps to help you is a fire breather. The fire breather will take 5 Schnapps and he'll light part of your bar on fire and rebuild it for you. I usually, if I can use that for the tables, because the tables are the most expensive upgrade. So I can say, hey, here's 5 Schnapps, fix the tables for me, and move on. There's another one that's a variable start, which I'm not even going to get into. You just have to figure out what you're going to do with the tools you're given. The final one is the guest check, where you're essentially playing bingo. With that, obviously, just play bingo as well as you can and try to get to the things before everyone else does so you can get the prizes you need to fit into the strategy that you're working on.
But I must say, this game, the base game, really is complicated enough. Usually when I play with my group, we do the Schnapps and the Bard. And that's enough to worry about. If you add everything, it's just you won't have time to try to maximize them all, for sure. So I definitely recommend this game. It's one of probably my favorite game for this year that came to. I think this came out last year. Last year, Essen, right?
So if you were in Germany, yes, it came out last year. As far as in the U.S., it came out, oh goodness, like a month ago. So yeah, it's very recent, and clearly you love it. So you have fantastic taste.
I do have fantastic taste, if I don't say so myself.
I know, right?
I played it this year, and it's one of my most played games this year, and it's a great game. So thank you so much, Bruce, for sharing your strategy and telling everybody else about the game, and thank you guys for watching. Bye!